What if there were, like, ancient blueprints for unlocking well-being, for understanding your mind, the world around you, laid out in surprisingly precise steps?
Not just philosophy, but actual practical instructions you could use.
Exactly. And that's what we're doing today. We're taking a deep dive into some really extraordinary ancient texts. They're from the Anguttara Nikaya, specifically the chapter of Nines.
Right. These are profound insights into Buddhist practice, often laid out in these neat lists of 9. They're designed to sort of illuminate the path to liberation, to inner peace.
Our mission really is to pull out the most important nuggets from these teachings. We want to find the surprising facts, the clear frameworks for, spiritual growth, and the advice you can actually apply.
And hopefully without making it feel too overwhelming, because there's a lot here. But get ready for some real aha moments, I think.
Okay, let's get into it. Building the foundation. The texts start with something maybe unexpected. Connection.
That's right. The Sambhutipākkaya Sutta really highlights the importance of good friends, good companions, good associates.
And it's not just a nice idea, is it?
No, not at all. It says this good company is the first prerequisite.
The first, before anything else.
Before developing morality, engaging in good discussions, making effort, gaining wisdom, it all starts there. Your spiritual path isn't solitary. Your social world is foundational.
That's huge. Good friends aren't just nice to have, they're essential. It makes sense, like building on solid ground.
Exactly. But, you still need the inner stuff, too. Which brings us to the Nisaya-Sampanna Sutta. It talks about 5 crucial inner supports.
Right, for dropping the unwholesome stuff and picking up the wholesome. What are they?
Okay, so you've got faith, moral shame, moral dread, energy, and wisdom.
Moral shame and moral dread. How do those work? They sound a bit negative.
Well, they're not about feeling bad in a useless way. Moral shame is that inner cringe, knowing something's wrong and just not wanting to do it.
Okay, an internal yuck factor.
Sort of. And moral dread is recognizing the long-term negative consequences. It stops you even starting down a bad path. Faith gives conviction, energy drives you, wisdom steers. They're active principles.
Got it. An inner toolkit. So, with good friends and these inner supports, what makes a spiritual life, complete? There's a sutta about 4 pillars.
Ah, yes, the Nandaka Sutta. It uses this great analogy of a 4-legged animal. You need all 4 legs to be stable.
And those legs are?
Faith, morality, inner tranquility, like calmness of mind and higher wisdom, insight into the Dhamma, the teachings.
So if one leg is weak?
The whole thing is incomplete, unstable. Like that animal with a weak leg, you need all 4 working together.
And that sutta also mentions discussion, right? Talking about these.
It does. Timely Dhamma discussion and listening are highlighted as beneficial. They help gain insight, inspire effort, bring happiness right now. It's not just theory, it's active engagement.
Makes sense. So you've got the supports, the pillars. What about dealing with fear? Because that's a big one for most of us.
Absolutely. And this is where it gets really practical, I think. The Balasagavathu Sutta talks about 4 powers, Balang.
Powers. Okay, I'm interested.
They are wisdom, effort, blamelessness in body, speech, and mind, and compassion or fellowship.
Okay, wisdom, effort, being blameless, compassion, and these help with fear.
Yes. Specifically, they allow you to overcome 5 common fears. And listen to how relevant these still are.
Lay them on me.
Fear of livelihood, making ends meet. Fear of ill repute, what people think of you. Fear of anxiety in assemblies like public speaking or social anxiety. Fear of death. And fear of bad destiny, like a bad rebirth.
Wow. Those are, pretty much the big ones, aren't they? Still today.
Exactly. So the insight here is ancient, but the application is totally modern. By cultivating these 4 inner powers, you build this resilience, this strength, where those common anxieties just lose their grip.
That's incredibly hopeful. Building internal fortitude against modern anxiety. Okay, so we have inner strength, but we also live in the world. How do we navigate that?
Great question. The Savittabhasavittabha Sutta gives very practical advice here. It's about choosing what to associate with and what not to associate with.
Like choosing your friends carefully.
Yes, but it goes way beyond that. It applies to your robes, if you're a monastic, your food, where you live, the local village, even whole regions.
Seriously, how do you decide?
The principle is simple. Choose what leads to the increase of wholesome qualities and the decrease of unwholesome ones. It's about consciously shaping your environment to support your practice.
That's quite strategic. It reminds me of that story, Maggia, the monk who went off to a beautiful mango grove.
Ah, yes, Maggia, a classic teaching moment. He finds this idyllic spot, perfect for meditation, he thinks.
It doesn't work out, does it?
No, even in that peaceful place, his mind is flooded with unwholesome thoughts, desire, ill will, harmful thoughts. He goes back to the Buddha, confused.
And what does the Buddha say?
He basically reiterates those key supports we talked about. Good friends, morality, right speech and discussion, effort, wisdom. These are crucial for the ripening of mind liberation.
So the location wasn't enough.
Exactly. Good intentions and a nice environment aren't sufficient on their own. You need the right inner and outer supports, actively working together. Just changing the scenery doesn't automatically fix your mind.
That's a really important point. Okay, let's go deeper into the mind. What about the roots of conflict and craving?
The Tanmalaka Sutta maps this out brilliantly. It describes 9 things rooted in craving. It's like a chain reaction.
A chain reaction? How does it work?
Okay, so it starts with craving. Craving leads to seeking. Seeking leads to gain. Gain leads to making decisions about it. That leads to desire and passion.
Okay, I can see that.
Then comes attachment, then possession, then stinginess, not wanting to share, and then guarding what you possess.
And where does that end up?
Conflict, quarrels, disputes, lying, harsh speech, all sorts of unwholesome states. It shows you precisely how that little itch of wanting something can escalate into real problems if you're not mindful.
That's a powerful map of, well, how things go wrong. Now, there's another text with a really striking image of the body.
You must mean the Gautama Sutta. Yes, it's quite graphic.
It compares the body to a sore or a boil with 9 openings constantly oozing.
It does. 9 openings: eyes, ears, nostrils, mouth, anus, urethra, constantly discharging impurities. It's intentionally provocative.
Why such a strong image? Is it meant to make us hate our bodies?
Not exactly hate, but to cultivate dispassion. To see the body realistically as impermanent, dependent, ultimately not self, not something to cling to as the ultimate reality of who you are. It's a tool to cut through attachment.
A radical reframing. Okay. And building on that, there are these 9 perceptions in the Sāmaññavaggo Sutta meant for liberation.
Yes, 9 specific perceptions, or sanya, that lead to great benefit, culminating in Nibbana, the deathless.
What are they? Because some sound a bit grim, like perception of the body's repulsiveness, death, repulsiveness of food.
They can sound that way initially. The list includes those, plus non-delight in the world, impermanence, suffering and impermanence, non-self and suffering, abandonment, and dispassion.
So how are these helpful? Why focus on, say, death or impermanence?
They aren't meant to be depressing. They are tools for seeing things as they actually are. Contemplating impermanence, for instance, directly undermines clinging, which is the root cause of suffering. By seeing the unsatisfying nature of conditioned things, you naturally incline towards release. They dismantle illusion.
Okay, so they're realistic, not negative. Tools for cutting through delusion. Let's shift gears a bit. What about the state of enlightenment itself? What are enlightened beings, arahants, like?
Several suttas, like Sutta-vaparibbhajaka and Saccaparibbhajaka, give us a clear picture by listing things an arahant is simply incapable of doing.
Incapable. Not just chooses not to.
Exactly. It's intrinsic to their liberated nature. They cannot intentionally kill, steal, engage in sexual misconduct, tell a deliberate lie, or hoard pleasures like they used to.
That makes sense ethically. Anything else?
Yes, and this is crucial. They cannot deny the Buddha, the Dhamma teachings, or the Sangha community, and they cannot abandon the training. It shows this absolute, unshakable stability. Their ethical compass is perfectly aligned.
An unshakable integrity. That's powerful. And there are also texts outlining stages on the path, right? Different types of people.
Yes, the Pugala Sutta and Ahunapugala Sutta list 9 types of individuals representing the journey.
Can you give us a quick overview?
Sure. It starts with the Puthujjano, or ordinary person, still caught up. Then you have stages like the stream enterer, someone who's had a first glimpse of Nibbana and is bound for enlightenment.
Okay.
Then the once returner, who will only be reborn once more in the human realm. The non-returner, who won't come back to this realm at all, but will attain Nibbana from a higher realm. And finally, the arahant, who is fully liberated.
And there are people practicing for each of those stages, too.
Exactly. So you have the person practicing for stream entry, practicing for once returning, and so on. It maps out the whole progression. They aren't just labels. They signify real inner transformation.
A clear map of spiritual development. And taking an even wider view, there's a sutta about different levels of existence.
Right, the Sattāvāsa Sutta. It describes 9 abodes of beings. Think of them as different planes of existence, or maybe better, levels of consciousness.
What kinds of levels?
It ranges from beings with diverse bodies and perceptions, like us humans and some gods, all the way up through various refined meditative states achieved by advanced meditators, reaching realms of infinite space, infinite consciousness, nothingness.
Wow.
And finally, the realm of neither perception nor non-perception. It really expands your sense of the possibilities of consciousness, way beyond our everyday experience.
That's mind-bending stuff. Okay, let's dive into meditation itself. How is the liberated mind described?
The Paññāprasita Sutta says the mind is well cultivated by wisdom. It's free from passion, aversion, delusion. It's non-returning.
Non-returning to lower states. And there's an analogy, something about a pillar.
Yes, the Silayupapama Sutta has this powerful image of a stone pillar sunk deep into the earth.
Okay.
Even strong winds blowing from all directions, east, west, north, south, cannot make it shake or tremble.
So the mind is like the pillar.
Exactly. Just as the winds can't shake the pillar, sense objects, sights, sounds, smells, tastes, touches, thoughts cannot perturb a mind that is rightly liberated through wisdom. It's unshakable.
Truly unshakable.
Yeah.
That's an incredible goal. And the path to that involves specific meditative states, the jhanas.
Yes. The Anupubbanaroda and Anupubbavihara Suttas describe 9 successive cessations or progressive dwellings. It's a very detailed map
Cessations of what?
of specific mental factors as you go deeper. In the first jhana, sensual perceptions cease to dominate. In the second, thinking and examining fades away.
It gets quieter and quieter.
Progressively stiller. Rapture ceases in the third jhana. Even the breath seems to cease in the fourth. Then you move into the formless attainments.
Where perception itself changes.
Right. Perception of form ceases, then perception of infinite space, then infinite consciousness, then nothingness, until you reach the state where even the perception of nothingness ceases.
Leading to.
The ultimate state described here. The cessation of all perception and feeling. Saññavaggo nirodha. It's a profound sequence of increasing subtlety and stillness.
Okay, but that leads to a question someone actually asks in the Nibbana Sutta. If Nibbana involves the cessation of feeling, how can it be happiness? We usually think happiness is a feeling.
That's the crux of it. And Sāriputta, a chief disciple, gives this brilliant, slightly paradoxical answer.
What does he say?
He says, that is the happiness, that there is no feeling there.
How can that be happiness?
Because, as the text explains, each deeper stage of meditation is experienced as happier than the last, precisely because a coarser kind of suffering or disturbance has ceased. The first jhana is happy because sensual desire is gone. The third is happy because the agitation of rapture is gone.
So happiness here means freedom from something unpleasant.
Exactly. It's the relief, the peace, the freedom that comes with cessation. Nibbana, the ultimate cessation of all conditioned phenomena and suffering, is therefore the ultimate unshakable happiness, not a feeling, but a state of perfect peace and freedom.
That reframes happiness completely. It's freedom from suffering. And it seems like many different terms point to this same state.
That's a key insight from many of these suttas. Terms like body witness, liberated by wisdom, directly visible Dhamma, Nibbana here and now, they all ultimately describe someone who has mastered these 9 progressive cessations, these jhanas and formless states, and eradicated the defilements.
So different facets of the same diamond.
Beautifully put. Liberation isn't just an idea, it's an experiential reality reached through these specific meditative achievements and the profound cessations they involve. The terms just highlight different angles on that one ultimate attainment.
Incredible. Okay, bringing this back to everyday life and relationships, how do we cultivate supportive environments?
The Kulopagama Sutta gives practical advice. It lists 9 qualities that make a family or community worthy of approach for someone on the path.
Like what?
Simple things, really. They rise to greet you, offer a seat, share what they have generously, even if it's little. They listen attentively to Dhamma, things like that.
And there are qualities that make a community unworthy too.
Yes, basically the opposite. They don't greet you, offer a seat grudgingly or not at all, hoard their resources, are dismissive of the teachings. It shows how our environment shapes us and how we can shape our environment.
Timeless advice for building healthy communities. What about personal ethics on a regular basis?
The Navakanipāta Sutta describes the ideal way to observe the Uposatha, a special observance day, usually held around the new and full moons. It has 9 factors.
9 factors.
Yeah.
Let me guess, they mirror the Arahat's conduct.
You got it. It's basically aspiring to live like an arhat for a day, abstaining from killing, stealing, unchastity, lying, intoxicants.
Basic 5 precepts, plus more.
Yes. Plus eating only once before noon. Abstaining from entertainment like dancing, singing, music, shows, and also from perfumes, garlands, adornments. Abstaining from high, luxurious beds.
So simplifying and restraining the senses. What's the 9th?
This one is actively cultivating boundless loving kindness, metta, spreading it out in all directions to all beings. It's a powerful combination of restraint and active cultivation.
A very complete practice for a day. Now, there were also stories about celestial beings, devas.
Ah, the Deva Sutta. Yes, these are fascinating. Various devas visit the Buddha. Some are regretful, some are satisfied.
What were they regretful about?
Their past human lives, they'd failed to do certain wholesome things, didn't greet monastics properly, didn't offer seats, didn't share their resources, didn't listen carefully to the Dhamma, didn't reflect on it, didn't practice it.
And the consequence?
They were reborn in inferior bodies among the devas, less radiant, less powerful.
And the satisfied ones?
They had done all those things diligently and completely. They were reborn in superior bodies, radiant and happy. It's a direct lesson. Our actions here have consequences, and diligence matters.
A clear cosmic feedback loop. Okay, finally, there's one sutta that seems to turn everything on its head regarding generosity. The Vallama Sutta.
Oh, Vallama. Yes, this one is truly mind-blowing. It starts with this Brahmin, Vallama, who gave this unbelievably massive offering.
How massive?
Like thousands upon thousands of gold bowls, silver bowls, bronze bowls, thousands of elephants, chariots, cows decked out in finery, thousands of maidens, couches, rolls of cloth, rivers of food, drink, ointment, just staggering material wealth given away.
Okay, so probably the biggest giveaway ever.
You'd think nothing could be more meritorious, right? But then the Buddha starts this incredible comparison.
What does he say?
He says, feeding one person who has attained stream entry is more fruitful than Vallama's entire enormous donation.
More fruitful than all of that, just feeding one person.
Yes, and feeding a once returner is more fruitful than that. Feeding a non-returner, more fruitful still. Then an arahant, then a private Buddha, a Pacceka Buddha, then a fully enlightened Buddha like himself.
Okay, so the spiritual attainment of the recipient matters hugely.
Massively. But it keeps going. Offering to the entire Sangha, the community of monks, is more fruitful than offering to an individual Buddha. Building a monastery for the Sangha is more fruitful still.
Wow.
Taking refuge in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha is more fruitful than building a monastery. Undertaking the 5 precepts is more fruitful than taking refuge.
This hierarchy is amazing. Where does it end? What's the most fruitful thing?
This is the absolute stunner. Developing a mind of loving kindness, metta, just for the time it takes to snap your fingers,
Just a moment of metta.
is more fruitful than observing the 5 precepts perfectly. And even more fruitful than that is developing the perception of impermanence, just for the time it takes to snap your fingers.
Wait, a single moment of insight into impermanence outweighs all that massive material generosity.
That's the teaching. It's profoundly counterintuitive. It tells you where the real value lies, what truly leads to liberation and deep benefit. It's not in the external display, however grand, but in the inner cultivation of wisdom and kindness, even for a moment.
That really does turn conventional thinking upside down. What an insight to end on.
It's a powerful reorientation, isn't it?
Absolutely. So we've really covered a lot today from this chapter of Nines. We looked at building foundations with good friends and inner supports.
Navigating our world wisely, understanding the roots of craving, and even reframing how we see our own bodies.
We explored the different states of being, the stages of enlightenment, the vastness of consciousness.
And dug deep into meditation, the unshakable mind, the progressive cessations, and that surprising truth about Nibbana being happiness without feeling.
Plus practical ethics, community building, and that incredible lesson about the supreme value of inner cultivation over external acts.
These ancient texts, they really offer such a clear, practical framework, don't they, for understanding your own mind, for cultivating real well-being.
They absolutely do. And maybe the final thought for everyone listening, stemming from that Vallama Sutta.
If cultivating just a moment of loving kindness or a flash of insight into impermanence is truly more valuable, more beneficial than the grandest external gesture,
Then how might that change how you choose to invest your time, your energy, right now, today? What kind of legacy, what kind of benefit are you really building moment by moment?